We headed out of Longreach on the way to Mount Isa, and first stop was Winton and the Waltzing Matilda Centre. We were feeling a little bit over Australiana Museum, so we decided not to pay the money to go on the exhibit, but instead just sat in the park and had lunch and looked at this statue, tribute to Banjo Patterson. Now, Banjo Patterson wrote Waltzing Matilda in 1895 and first performed it here at the North Gregory Hotel in April 1895. Unfortunately, it wasn't this building that it was originally first performed in, this version of the North Gregory Hotel. For 5 years later, in 1900, the North Gregory Hotel was burnt down. It was rebuilt and burnt down again in 1916, and rebuilt and burnt down again in 1946. And this building was in fact built in 1955. But you can go into the North Gregory Hotel and stand in roughly the same piece of air that Banjo Patterson would have stood in when he sang more than 100 years ago. We're just across from the Outback Motel, and the advertising line here at the petrol station has last fuel for 180 kilometres, which we think is a very persuasive sales and marketing campaign. And so we have just filled up the water bottles in the car, filled up the petrol tank, and we begin the journey from Winton west towards Mount Isa. Well, the scenery does keep changing. This morning as we were driving along, you could look in any direction and it was perfectly flat, but it was basically green grass, and not lush green, but grass. And now it's really dirt. We set out from Winton a few minutes ago, and setting out from Winton, the navman said next turn in 329 kilometres, and we looked down and we saw that we had 334 kilometres to empty.
Ever since I learned the Christmas carol, out on the plains the broggers are dancing, lifting their feet like war horses prancing. Up to the sun the woodlarks go winging, faint in the dawn light their echoes are singing. Arana, Arana, Arana for Christmas Day. I have wanted to see a brogger, and so Abraham has, we've looked in his book to see what broggers look like, and these are broggers for sure. And I've never seen one before, and I'm really excited. And we just happened to pull in by the road, and there was a bird, and it was a living bird instead of a statue in a front garden, and they're broggers. And I'm going to go take a photo.
Well, here we are at the Walkabout Creek Hotel, made famous by the movie Crocodile Dundee.
You're talking about why George Bush went to war against the Iraqs?
I was reading the brochure about Chile has been made famous by the Crocodile Dundee movie, which the Walkabout Hotel was simply featuring in. I don't know if the hotel had that name before the Crocodile Dundee movie, but that's what it's called now.
Mum, it says
the other thing, there's a few other things about it. It has, petrol, and it has this and that, and it has the smallest library in Queensland, which is an interesting claim to fame.
How it normally happens? Who's allowed in the bar?
People over 18.
No, Crocodile Dundee is. Recently.